We've been through it already. Safaricom, Kenya's telecommunication giant, pioneer in mobile money, a household name, and the recent buzz around it when Starlink decided to come into the Kenyan market. If you don't know about this yet, please check my previous videos. But in this video, we're going to cover something different, but of course, related to this whole issue of Safaricom and Starlink. The issue here is, should Safaricom really feel threatened with Starlink's entry into the market? Is Safaricom really justified in protecting its territory? Interestingly, Safaricom has a lot of advantages in the Kenyan telecommunication space, but you be the judge at the end of this video. Let's dig in. Number 1. Established infrastructure. First up is the well-established infrastructure that Safaricom has over Starlink across the country. Safaricom has an extensive network of cell towers and 4G and of course 5G coverage. This is infrastructure that Safaricom has spent decades in building. Over the years, Safaricom has ensured reliable service, which even its competitors like Airtel, of course we remember you, Orange and all that, have not been able to catch up. Starlink comes with a totally different technology, relying on satellite to provide internet. It promises high speeds, but there's a challenge here, the cost of equipment. The question is, how many Kenyans can be able to afford this equipment? This is an advantage to Safaricom already. Safaricom has been able to provide connectivity to millions of Kenyans across the country, which has been fine-tuned to the Kenyan market. Number 2, the brand trust and loyalty. It goes without saying that there's a lot of Kenyans who are of the view that the Kenyan telecommunication landscape should be protected against companies like Starlink. But let me not go down that direction. Let's talk about brand trust and loyalty. We should accept the fact that Safaricom is not just a telecommunication company. It is a brand that millions of Kenya trust. Over the years, Safaricom has been able to build a brand synonymous to innovation, reliability, and community support. This is not something that can be whisked away just by a new company coming in. It will take some time for Starlink to be able to establish itself and be able to do away with this kind of brand trust and loyalty. I mean, look at M-Pesa. This is a service that most of us cannot be able to do away with. We can be able to change switch lines and go to other telecommunication providers, but at the end of the day, we keep our Safaricom line just for the transaction services. It is this deep-rooted trust that gives Safaricom a significant advantage, making it hard for any new player such as Starlink to just break into the market and get away with consumers. Of course, number 3, M-Pesa dominance. One of the biggest cards that Safaricom has up its sleeve is M-Pesa. I've already touched a bit on it, but let's delve in. This is not just a simple mobile transfer service. It is embedded into the ordinary Kenyan's life, ordinary mwananchi. It is part of Kenya's financial system. I mean, you can get loans, you can pay for services and goods, you can transfer money from one person to the other, you can save on the platform. Heck, you can also get remittances from outside the country. The integration of M-Pesa into the Kenyan life is unparalleled. This is something that Starlink does not offer. In as much as Starlink can provide high-speed internet, it lacks this financial service layer that Safaricom has perfected over the years. M-Pesa is therefore a powerful differentiator in favor of Safaricom. Number 4, localized servicing and pricing. We should take note of the fact that Safaricom has mastered the art of tailoring its services to the Kenyan market, from affordable data bundles, loaning services, mobile health services, educational content, among others. Safaricom has understood the Kenyan needs and has been able to deliver different price points to suit different income levels. Now, this comes back to my earlier point. In as much as it is promising, the price point will be a big issue for a lot of Kenyans, especially in rural areas. The question is, how many people really in rural areas can be able to afford this service? You see, depending on the income level of different Kenyans, Safaricom can give data bundles in as low as 10 shillings, 20 shillings, just to suit different income levels. Can Starlink be able to do the same? This is the major question. Number 5, extensive distribution and support network. Just step out your house and you will be able to see somewhere a Safaricom agent. This extensive distribution and retail network is another key advantage that Safaricom has over Starlink. With thousands of agents across the country, it makes it possible for customers to be able to get the services and support they need at any time. Starlink might struggle with this issue, particularly in areas where internet and technological literacy is still a problem. It will be very difficult for Starlink to be able to just provide a brochure for somebody to read. Take for instance, in the villages, people might have money, yes, but can they be able to have the literacy to be able to read and be able to do their self-installation? That is a problem which Starlink will have to deal with. And without an extensive support system, it will be difficult for Starlink to be able to reach this kind of population. And finally, number 6, let's talk about regulatory influence. In one of my videos I have made about Safaricom, we've been able to see that the government owns 35% stake of the shares in Safaricom. Now, this means that Safaricom has some power in terms of influencing regulatory procedures. We have already seen that Safaricom has been able to push for the government to try and regulate Starlink's entry into the market. This will be a problem for Starlink even moving on into the future. In as much as they have the financial muscle, Safaricom will be a constant bug trying to influence regulation to its favor. We also need to point out that being one of the largest companies in Kenya, it is a significant taxpayer to the government. So it has a huge voice behind closed doors in terms of swaying regulations for the telecommunication landscape. This is a card that might make it a bit tough for Starlink to freely operate into the Kenyan market. Whether this is fair or not, it continues being an issue for debate, but we cannot dispute that here Safaricom has an advantage. So there you have it. As the discussion continues about Starlink coming into the market, it is clear that Safaricom has several advantages in the Kenyan market. Yes, of course, Starlink comes in to offer great potential and immense possibilities, but it is facing a formidable competitor who has spent decades in building infrastructure and brand trust and all that comes with it in the Kenyan market. The question now is, will Starlink be able to overcome these disadvantages and break into the Kenyan market, or Safaricom will continue dominating Kenya's telecommunication space? So what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next one. Ciao. With this kind of brand trust and with this